Hey guys, by now you know the Springbrook campus has switched over to in-ear monitors, and maybe you haven't played on stage since that happened and you're a little bit nervous about what to expect. So I'm making a little orientation video for you, so you'll know what to do when you get here. The first thing is, if you have an iPhone or an iPad, you can actually connect to the soundboard from your device so that you can make adjustments to your own mix. And things like that. Obviously the sound guys still have control over everything, so if you needed help, they're still there and available to help you. But if it was just a little thing like, hey, I need a little bit more of my guitar or a little bit less of somebody else's guitar or voice or something, you can make those changes on your own. So the first thing you need to do, if you have an Apple device, if it's an iPhone, you can download the app called QMix. It's the letter Q, M-I-X. And if you have an iPad, you want to download the Studio Live app, and it's called SL-Remote. So go ahead and download those, and then I'm going to show you how you can actually get connected. Okay, once you have those apps downloaded, you come into the auditorium. Normally when you come to the auditorium, you're given these options for Wi-Fi, Northridge 5 and 2.4, the NRCC guest. But when you are serving on the worship team, you want to connect to NRCC worship. And this is not actually Wi-Fi. When you're connected to this, you probably will not be able to use the internet unless you're smarter than I am and can figure out how to do both. But this is just connected to a router that's actually like right here behind the computer that is designated for our soundboard. So when you log into that, for right now, the password is all lowercase worship and then the number 1, and that will get you connected. We may change that password periodically just to keep things going. So once you're logged in there, then you're ready to get started. So I'm going to be demonstrating this on my iPad just because I'm videoing with my phone. But here's my SL remote. So I'm connected here, and if you look up at the computer screen, you can see like it recognized there's John's iPad. Now, from this drop-down menu right here, the sound guy can give you permission to control all the mixes or an individual mix. And right now it's set up just to control the drum mix because Ted borrowed this a couple of weeks ago. So back to the iPad, and it looks a little bit different on your phone, but it's the same concept. If you tap down here, the aux mixer, it's showing you, okay, right now we're looking at the drum mix, and everything down here, kick, snare, hat, all that stuff, I have the ability to control. So if I wanted more kick, I can just click here and add more kick to my monitor. If I want more snare, I can add more snare. If I have too much bass, I can click here and just kind of drag it back down. Change that back so if that really is someone's mix, then they're not going to be upset with me. But yeah, that's pretty much it for how easy it is to control your own mix. Alright, so now your device is connected and you're ready to go, and I'll give you just a heads up that sometimes that app will crash and you have to reload and stuff like that. But we're not going to be having our phones out and making changes during the worship set or anything, so that shouldn't be that big of a deal. But if you go backstage on the lead electric guitar side, you're going to see this thing back here, and this is just kind of our ear station. In this bottom drawer we have Q-tips. I usually like to Q-tip when I get out of the shower, but in case you forget, you can come and get those ears cleaned out. And then in this drawer you see options for the different types of in-ears. And then in the top drawer you have different things like here are the squishy tips that you put on the end. I'd like for you to, once you use these, just keep them somewhere and use the same set every time. It'll be easier for us to keep the in-ears clean, and then you just worry about cleaning this stuff. And then these are just extension cables in case your cord is not long enough on your headphones, and I'll show you more about that soon. But you can go ahead and select the type of in-ears you want to use and go ahead and start getting fitted up. Alright, so most of our musicians are going to be using this model, which is an M6 Pro, and these are $50 online. I got these on Amazon for $50. They come in white and black. So the church owns 4 sets of these that you are welcome to use when you come in. So most of our musicians will use these. Our vocalist or acoustic guitarist can probably get away with using some of the cheaper stuff, but anyway, so this is what I found. And this is the set that Priscilla used last week, and so when you pull them out of the drawer, you'll go ahead and take the twist tie off and you can unravel them. But what I want to show you is like the ends of these. This is where you're going to add, you wouldn't stick it in your ear yet because it doesn't have a tip on it. So let me get some tips out and I'll show you how to add these on. Alright, these are my favorite kind of tips. They're called Comply Foam, and they just kind of, they're squishy and they just kind of fit to the mold of your ear. And so you're just going to take these and actually just push them on to the end of the in-ear. And you can see it kind of smushes down, but as you put it in your ear, it's gonna fit back. And but that's all you have to do is just pop those on. I'm going to put them both on and then I'll show you how to stick them in the ears. Okay, so I have the Comply Foam tips on there. They're ready to go. These tips are like $10 to $15 for a pair, which might not be a bad investment for you if you're planning to use the M6 Pros. However, if you order these, this is $50. It comes with a set of these included. So if you think you want your own, that's cool. Then you don't have to worry about sharing with anybody else. But if you look really closely on these, this one has an L, this one has an R. I don't know if you can see that on the video. And then flip over on the other side and you can see that on the front it actually says M6 Pro. Well, that's the way it should read when it's in your ear. So you're going to put this in your ear, and then this cable is going to loop behind your ear, and then as you push it in, you're going to rotate it back. So if you were to look really closely at my ear, it would still say M6 Pro. And then you're going to run this cable just down the back of your shirt, and then it'll come out the bottom and you'll plug in. So let's go to the stage and see how we get connected there. Okay, now I'm on the stage here, and the first thing you want to do is take this power cord and just plug it in so that we are now connected to the power at the bottom. And you'll see that there's a mic level and a monitor level. This mic level, you'll never worry about that. Just keep it down. The monitor level is just your master volume. I would say always keep that at 0 until you plug your headphone into the bottom of the box. Okay, there will be a small pop when you plug that in. You could wait and put your ears in after you plug that in, but then I would say just slowly bring up this monitor level until you get it to where you want to be. Now, if the distance from your earphones to the box is, if you want to have a little bit more distance, you can use one of these extension cables. So you just plug your earbuds into one end, plug the other end into the box, and that'll give you like 6 more feet, so you have the freedom to roam around. Alright, keep in mind that the monitor level on the box, that's your overall volume, but if you want any specific levels to be adjusted, you need to do that from your phone or ask the sound guy to help you. Now, when you're finished with the set, at the end of the worship set, you can just turn your volume down to 0 on here, and you can unplug, and then you're free to walk around. At the end of the day, when you're finished playing, make sure you unplug that power so we don't, burn it up or whatever. And then take your ears out, and I'll show you how to roll those up. Okay, to take these Comply tips off, you're just going to kind of get your fingernail underneath it and just pull it off. It's going to feel like you're breaking it. You're not really, but once you pull it off, not break it. Once you pull it off, it's going to look like it's messed up, but it will go back to its original shape. Then just take your in-ears, and I just kind of loop it over with the natural thing there, and just roll it up kind of loosely around your fingers like this. You don't want to do anything too tight, and then pull it together, and you'll use the twisty tie just to tie it back up and put it in the box. Okay, so take those Comply tips or whichever tips you're using, keep those with you, and you'll reuse those every time you play or sing. You'll put the headphones back in the box. So just some last minute tips. For one, make sure you're on time. Make sure you come early. You're not rushed. Be patient with the sound check process. When other people are testing their levels, you're just listening to them in your phones. You're not playing along or whatever while they're getting their levels. I would recommend, just for safety, always wearing both ears in rather than having one out and one in. And also, if you're not happy with your mix, talk to the sound guy, because they can still connect in and hear what you're hearing, and they can help pretty it up. I mean, you can still say, yeah, give me more of this or less of this. And finally, I would say try giving yourself less of things instead of always giving yourself more.